What do you think are the key driving factors of this industry?
The key driving factors, the people with the medical needs and mainly like asthma and dust allergies and these kind of, and people who are like old people, like they're like very their lung capacity is like very poor since like they grown old, and the newborn babies, their lungs has to yet to develop. That is the one thing.
Hello, good evening. We have with us today Deekshith Vara Prasad, CEO of AirOK, and welcome to this interview. How are you doing?
Hi Shivanti, I'm really
That is
doing good.
that is great to hear. Before we delve into the question answers, before we delve into the technicality of it, I want to ask you about your journey, about your entrepreneurial journey.
It's a long back, like in the 2015, when it's still, the scenes are very fresh, and that's a time where like this entrepreneurial uh, movement was started, I can say, in the country. So I have merely an idea about like the concept about the air purifier because of ongoing air pollution issues in the country. And out of like 15 cities globally, Delhi has named as like top one. And so I have this idea and this concept, and it's still kind of a very nascent stage when it comes to the market about the air pollution and awareness kind of. So I presented this idea at the concept level to IITM Incubation Cell. It's a platform for youngsters like us where we can actually explore our ideas and can develop into the concept and can develop into the prototype and industrial version of this. So I'm just like trying to experimental kind of attitude. I just like presented the case to the IITM Incubation Cell, and initially like they liked the idea and they asked like certain proofs of the concept note, so which we have already done at the laboratory level. The moment like I presented the case, so they were very happy with the results, and it's like a very promising and the need of the hour. So that's how like I got the uh, uh, approval from the ITM incubation cell to get incubated. And once I got incubated, and there is no look back. It's like just we got the seed funding and we developing the prototype and we presenting it to the market, and marketplace was very much attracted to that. Uh, in 2017, like we closed the investment of around like $2 million, and after closing the investment, like we started our own manufacturing plant. And 2018, we started selling the product and seeing the first customers, and that really excited us. Like that's it's like our own baby actually started walking, and it's really kind of a journey where I'll cherish, and there is a lot of learnings as well.
Great. I also wanted to ask you how and when did you think that you'll become an entrepreneur?
I can't really say like this is the point that I have that I want to become an entrepreneur, but I can say it's like kind of a daffling between like what I want to do. I'm sure like what I don't want to do. I just don't want to end up in like some kind of 9 to 5 job. Just good, but for my kind of mindset, like I just don't want to kind of stick or like kind of that I'm very sure, but I don't know like what exactly I want to do. So maybe there is a seminar that is happening on the air pollution and its effects. In that seminar, like one of the professor actually made a statement. So India is actually polluted, but no one is polluting as per the air quality reports and all. And that's where I really kind of got the triggering. I want to do something in this field.
And what about the industry size, market dynamics? Can you give us a picture of it?
Air purifier market is started from 2011 slowly, and 2014 is the time uh, the need of air purifier actually understood by the people of India, because during that point of time uh, there is a great need of air purifiers in the Delhi kind of Delhi NCR kind of environment, and literally people are actually seeing the standard. I mean, the standard supposed to be like a 30 ppm or like a 60 ppm. The standards are actually going crazy, like up to like 500 ppm and like 600 ppm. Then the news articles and the news media across the globe actually started like projecting how bad the indoor air pollution was, and that opened the market in a lot of verticals. And one vertical is mainly the one vertical was like the polluted cities, which is like Lucknow and the Delhi NCR, these kind of places, and everyone became like a health conscious all of a sudden. So that opened up a market. It started with like a 500 crores market. Right now, it's like a kind of a around 2000 crores market at the present.
It is very important, as you said, because of the pollution, because of the situation that is going on, and the increasing diseases, I think. What do you think are the key driving factors of this industry?
The key driving factors, the people with the medical needs, and mainly like asthma and dust allergies and these kind of, and people who are like old people, like they're like very their lung capacity is like very poor since like they grown old, and the newborn babies, their lungs has to yet to develop. That is the one of the main key factor that I believe was like every organ in our body have its own like discharge mechanism, where it's like a digestive system or like kidneys or anything. But only the organ like the lungs, it don't have any discharge mechanism. Once the air pollutant deposited in the lungs, it is there forever. It's very difficult. It's very hard to actually kind of discharge it kind of. So the lungs are like a very sensitive part, and what we are actually breathing is so important in the long term. And Delhi, the present scenario, as per the research reports, like 40% of the children have lost their like full lung capacity as of now. It's like a precaution that people have to take by seeing the long term. After 40 years, like our lungs will not be like in the same capacity like which below 40 is having. So it's like a precaution more than actually kind of a necessity.
That is true, and that feels very personal as well, because around me, even I know so many people that is affected by this pollution and affected, their lungs are affected. I have relatives who are facing such problems like asthma. So what are the challenges that you people face as service providers, and what do you think are the solutions to those problems?
One of the main challenge in market is like there's a tag actually. Jo dikhta hai wo bukta, wo dikhta. That's the main tag in India scenario. Clean air is something which we breathe but which we can't see, and what we are actually kind of presenting them like which they can't see. So kind of making that uh, believable that you are actually kind of we are actually providing a cleaner, which is like a very important. Initially, that is very challenging for a startup like us, because like we are no brand, we are just coming from out of the college with like a small product with the laboratory reports and all this. So the initial challenge was to convince the customer this is what this product is actually doing. So that's the initial challenge. But like how we overcome the challenge was like we integrated the every purifier with a sensor where they can clearly see what's the air before installing the purifier. The outer layer of the filter will be completely surrounded with the dust. It itself is a proof that this is what actually they are actually breathing.
And what do you think is the solution to that problem?
The solution, like just now I said, right? Like, so we integrate the purifier with the sensors, the air quality sensors. So these air quality sensors make them visible. This is the PM 2.5 level right now. And once we switch on the purifier, slowly the rate of that pollution used to get reduced. So after a certain point of time, like they can see the clear reduction in the PM 2.5 in the digital indicator. And they're also like a color indicator.
Right. And because everything is very consumer oriented, because every business, I feel a big part of any business or any form of any enterprise is their consumers. So what are the challenges that the consumers face in this scenario?
Consumers face like one of the main challenge that consumers face was like choosing between the filters, because every purifier have the only mechanism, it filters through the filtration happens through the filters, but there are like different grades of filters, different grades. It might look like same outwards, but actually the quality and the grade that which the material has been made there is like vast variance. So there is a HEPA 9, there is a HEPA 10, there is a HEPA 11, HEPA 13. So the biggest challenge for the customer is to evaluate like what kind of filter they are actually using. So for that reason, like we have developed our own patented technology, which is AGAPA. Unlike other purifier filters, it not just comes with a HEPA, it also comes with AGAPA layer, which is of a very thick, which kills the bacteria, not just traps the bacteria. HEPA only traps the bacteria, but whereas our filter kills the bacteria. That is the most important parameter that they have to look.
I guess my next question has already been somewhat answered because I was gonna ask what was the solution to the problems, and you already gave the answer. Um, I'm gonna ask you, how do you think that your company is sets itself apart from other companies that are in this same field?
One best thing and one good thing that our company have was like it's born in India by considering the Indian parameters when we are actually doing the R&D. So even at the R&D stage, so we know the kind of pollutants that India have, the kind of levels that India actually see, what exactly that consumer is actually looking for. All these parameters at the R&D level, actually, R&D level itself, like we incurred in our process, and we have developed our product in such a way that may be like every application. For example, air pollution doesn't mean only for the test. There is a problem in data centers. There is a corrosion problem in the data centers, and there is a bacteria problems in hospitals. And there is also like wherever the corporate offices, there is a poor ventilation. There is a problem. So the products which are available in the market, they are not completely like R&D oriented, uh, targeting to the particular application. Whereas like our purifier, we have made it in such a comprehensive and composite. Uh, this filter can address like 13 parameters rather than like the one parameter. So that the biggest advantage as a AirOK that we have, and since it's like an Indian origin, it understands the climate and the environment conditions much better.
That sounds amazing. Let's come to the COVID situation scenario. The COVID has had a great impact, very negative, as well as in some cases positive impact on a lot of firms. How has COVID affected you?
COVID did good to me, to be frank. 2018 to 2019, we nurtured the market of the corporates. But in 2019, because of this COVID, like the corporates completely like started for work from home or like started to be frozen. But because of COVID, the whole nation got awareness about like how important what they breathe. So it's sensitized it sensitized the issue to the another level. So whenever I'm communicating to the people right now, um, it's easy for me to actually say this is what it is. The previously this communication used to take lot of energy. Actually, I just have to show them a lot of articles, what happening. I just have to show them a lot of studies that has happened around the air pollution and the health. But COVID brought a lot of awareness, which opened a lot of spaces. Actually, it's kind of the spectrum has been like spread. That's the one thing that has happened, and it also opened a vertical of the hospitals and vertical of the hotels, because hotels are like very cautious right now. Yes, it affected in terms of the corporates, but it at the same time it also helped me to take the message of this importance of this air pollution to the next level, which made me which made us our job take very easy.
It's great to hear that it had a kind of a positive impact on your company and also probably the whole industry, I suppose. How has the market evolved? There has been so much changes, social, economic changes, political changes in the last few years. How has the market evolved for the couple of years? And what are the trends that can be seen in the market now?
Because of COVID, I think the people's mindset when they're actually spending on something become like a more cautious. That I've sensed actually. It also happened in another way, like another way around. Like they're very cautious and careful about like what kind of environment they're actually in, what kind of environment that they're actually in. All these dynamics which uh, supposed to effort made them to seek what they actually need than what is as comfortable. So that change actually helped us in presenting our case to them. So that's the one thing I say strongly. The market evolved larger than we thought because we used to get calls from schools also. Previously, like we kind of not that much into the schools, but like we got the calls from the schools also because it made them actually. So the COVID made them like, okay, this is very serious issue what we are actually breathing at. So the market evolved another level. And the trends, I can say that instead of buying it, the buying trends were changing. More and more, it became like online because previously we used to be in offline and we used to sell through the channel distributors and the dealers and all this. But the trend of buying completely shifted from 40% to 80% to completely online. That's the one change, one trend like we observed.
So where do you see yourself and the company in the next, say, 3 years?
Right now, we are operating in the market geographical region of Delhi NCR, and we have presence in Hyderabad as well and in Chennai as well. So we want to expand at least to 8 to 9 cities within the India.
In the next 3 years, that's great. That's amazing. Yeah. So we are at the end of the interview, and I would like to end with you giving some advice to the entrepreneurs or who are thinking to be in this business, who are thinking of starting a startup. So what is your advice to them?
I think you know better your product. Just believe that, and whatever the hardship that comes, just don't give up. It's a journey, and you always remember like why you started this journey.
That is very inspiring. Thank you so much, Deekshith, for having this interview with us. Wish you all the very best in your next few years.
Thanks.
Hope
See
your
you.
company grows.